Welcome everyone to our today's class. Today we will continue our discussion on the teaching aptitude topic of Assam University B.Ed entrance exam syllabus. Our today's topic is understanding learning needs, which is the second topic of our syllabus. So let us understand why learning needs of individual students are different, or why there is differences among individuals. Actually, individual variation is a universal phenomena. It is said that no two individuals are exactly alike, they differ from each other in some way or the other. Means no two students are equal. They will definitely differ from one another even if they are the twins of the same parent. So there is some differences between individuals, but where those differences actually occur, let's understand. Differences occur in temperament, in personality, in the intelligence level, in achievement, and also in some physical factors like height, weight, etc. Now let us go to the question, why difference occurs. Difference occurs because of various reasons. Firstly, children develop at different rates. The growth of children from the birth occurs at different pace. It is not same for all individuals. You probably see that no two child learn walking, learn sitting at the same time, even if they are the children of same parents. Okay, and what happens, this in turn creates variations among individuals. Now the second point is, these differences can be either qualitative or quantitative. This means these individual difference among individuals can be measured. For example, if we take the case of height and weight, we can measure the height of two individuals, the weight of two individuals, and some are only qualitative. That means we cannot measure directly. There is no proper instrument for measuring those characteristics. Okay, then each student is a unique individual. So each student is unique. They have unique demands in them. Demands and needs of two students are never equal. Then difference occurs in cognitive and affective development. You will learn in your GET course what are three domains of learning. Then you will learn cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. You will learn about your three domains of learning. These three domains you will learn in the B.Ed course in details, but let me tell you in brief that these three domains have different meanings. Cognitive means the intellectual side of learning, how much you can remember, how much is your knowledge. Then affective means your interest, attitude, values you possess about something, development of those areas. And then the psychomotor means the motor skills, the actions which require physical activities, like how skilled you are in performing science experiments like this. And then social maturity, ability, motivation, aspiration, these all differs between two individuals. Then learning styles, how a student learn, which method one student follow while learning. Does he like to do some activity while learning? Does he like to listen to something for learning? So this learning styles also differs. Then needs, interests, and potential. Needs means what does a student want, what is his or her demands are. Then interests differs. Then potential means the achievement capacity, up to what level one student can progress. These all differs among individuals. Other factors include social and economic background, from which cultural background, from which social background, what is economic condition, also differs among individuals, also have a role to play in the learning ability of individuals. Variation in past learning experiences, what his or her experiences in the past, these also have a role to play. Now let us go to the causes of differences. Now all these differences among individuals occurs, all right, but why these differences, what are the factors responsible for all these differences? Let us study one by one. Firstly, heredity. Heredity brings change from one individual to other, because in individuals you have probably seen height, size, shape, his color of hair, shape of face, nose, even entire structure of an individual is determined by hereditary qualities. So this is a principal reason why differences among individuals occurs. Then environment. The environmental influences are those which act upon the organism from the surroundings, starting from the mother's womb and later the external environment, earthly environment, always operates on the individual. So these are never same for two individuals. Then the third factor is sex. Due to sex variation, one individual differs from another. You have seen that men are strong in mental power. On the other hand, women on the average show small superiority over men in memory. It has been scientifically proved actually. Women also shows superiority in aesthetic sense, in decorating something. Okay, then age. Age is another factor. This is also responsible for bringing individual differences. Learning ability, adjustment capacity, these qualities actually grow with age. When one grows in age, he can acquire better control over his emotions, better social responsibilities, like this. Then education. Education is also a major factor which brings individual differences, because there is a wide gap in the behaviors of educated and uneducated persons. All the traits of human beings like social, emotional, then intellectual are controlled and modified through proper education. So this also have a role to play in individual differences. The education of the parents of the individual also have a role to play. Then self, the individual himself. You have seen that though all the siblings are common heredity and environment, yet no two siblings in a same family are alike. Then culture. Culture has a huge role to play. How well behaved, how his manners of an individual also have a role to play. Then abnormality. In some cases, we have seen some psychological abnormality among students. the judgment that somebody is abnormal is relative though, but it is also have a role to play in individual differences among students. Then areas of individual differences. So I have already discussed where the individual differences can be found. Individual differences can be found in attitude, then in interest, then psychomotor skills, then values. Some learners value materialistic lifestyle, other moral or religious lifestyle. This is also a principal area of individual difference. Different study habit. Some students are studious and study all the subjects with interest, but other may not. Some study in isolation, some study in group. Then difference in self concept. Some students have positive self concept, then which boost their confidence level and perform better against those who have negative self concept. Now this is the main thing that probably will come in your entrance exam. So how teacher will manage the diversity in the classroom? That means he has to understand the individual differences among students, and once he understand the individual differences, he has to cater the needs of all the students. So what steps he can take? Firstly, proper knowledge of individual personalities. He need to learn about each individual, what the demands and needs of each and every students of his class are. Then ability grouping. The teacher actually can classify the individual in groups according to their abilities. He will first try to understand what are the common among individuals, and then based on that he will group the individuals so that they can collectively learn. Then adjusting the curriculum to meet the requirement of varying individual differences among pupils. The curriculum should be as flexible and differentiated as possible. It should have the provision for number of diversified courses, because needs and demands of individuals are different. That is why the courses should be diversified. It should cater the needs of all the individuals. Then adjusting the method of teaching. The teacher, what he should do now is that he should adjust himself in the methods of teaching, considering the varying individual differences. Every teacher should be somewhat free to formulate his own plan and strategy to adopt different instructional procedures, so that he finds what is most suited for a particular individual. Then adopting social programs or methods for individual instructions. Actually, schools may also adopt some social programs or methods like teaching in Dalton plan, Winnectar plan, project method is also there. So these innovative techniques the schools can adopt, can apply to meet the needs of all the students. So students, this was all for today. We will meet in the next class. Up to then, goodbye.